Maybe you just unlocked something.
Might have.
2 very, very ripe, 2 almost not ripe.
2 on the verge of like mold is growing on the outside, and then 2 that probably could have sat there for a whole nother week. And I didn't, but I said, these other 2 won't make it. It's got to be today.
It's got to be today, because if you wait one more day, they truly will be moldy.
They truly, it was.
I think you just figured out
might
how
have.
to make perfect, and you already were making perfect banana bread, but something's elevated with this. I taste it, and so does Joshua.
Something has changed within you?
Something is not the same.
Okay, well, I think breaking news here on this podcast is I might have discovered that if you do 2 extremely ripe bananas, so ripe that, they're turning on moldy.
Yeah.
And then 2 that were they could have literally lasted another week, you guys, before I would have even used them in banana bread, but I needed 2 more.
Yeah.
And the store, Harris Teeter, sometimes will have bags of extremely ripe bananas.
Yes, I've seen.
For dirt cheap. I did not see any of those, so I was just like, well, I guess I gotta make do. And I think that it really helped. So 2 extremely ripe, and then 2, you don't want them green or anything, y'all. Don't eat them the way she likes them.
I want them the green, the color of this shirt.
Disgusting.
They're crunchy.
Disgusting. Oh, stop. You don't want it that, and you want it to be well on its way. There has to be some brown on the outside, but the other ones were completely brown. These were getting browned on the outside. I said, I just got to use them, and I think I made the best loaf ever.
If this is your best loaf, we know why.
See it.
So next time,
I'm going to do it again like this.
Do this again. If you can pull it off, try to do it again.
And also, if this is not how your banana bread is baking,
look at that.
It's perfectly baked.
See
how it's not browner around the edges?
Yeah.
Like some of y'all's banana bread looks like an ozone layer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
With just discoloration going all the way. No. You have to follow my exact recipe, which is on mirandaandcharlotte.com. Just type in banana. It is the most searched blog post I've ever made.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like I told you, if you type in Miranda and Charlotte, then banana bread pops up.
Very first thing in Google.
Away.
Yeah. I think that's the only time I beat out Miranda Lambert's last time in Charlotte, which was like a decade ago, probably. It's the only time.
Well, y'all know I love Miranda Lambert.
Oh my God, we sure do. More than me.
I will never get over that. That was great. The pointing.
I know, I pointed.
So disappointed.
It was amazing. Okay, anyway, I've come back from the dentist. So y'all heard that I was going to the dentist. This is not revolutionary or anything like that. I know people are going to the dentist all the time, but I think it's all something that we can commiserate in.
Yeah.
Whether you hate it, some people like it, freaks.
And I had just brought up, are people keeping their eyes opened or closed? Which one is worse? And so I want you to tell me what you did today.
You asked, did they give you glasses now? No, mine did not give me glasses.
Okay.
And so I did really focus on trying to keep mine closed as much as possible instead of just looking at them and what they were doing. I was like, Miranda, don't. I think that they want you to close your eyes and not look. So I probably overclosed them. Even when she was talking to me in between, I just kept them closed. I'm not looking at you. No. You can't have my eyes.
What is wrong with this woman?
I just don't know how to be natural now. I know. I'm in my head.
I got in your head about it.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm way too in my head about it. So, but clean bill, no cavities.
Yay.
Thank God. So I don't know if, if the podcasts have been following my dental saga, but there were many years I didn't go to the dentist, 6 or 7 years.
And you know what I find interesting is when we went to Waffle House and a lot of those girls said,
yes,
I haven't been to the dentist in 9 years. I haven't been to the dentist in 4 years. So I hope that you felt good in that you were not alone.
Yes. And I know I'm not. And some people have such severe dental anxiety. Yeah. And for me, it had started with a bad root canal.
Yeah.
And there being so much pain and my bite being off and feeling like I was going back and telling them this, but really nothing was being done. And so I just didn't go to the dentist forever. Then I met my friend Jess. Her husband does all the friendly dentals, and she's like, you have to go. They will take such good care of you at Waverly Dental. They are the nicest people in the world. They will not shame you. They will not judge you, because that's what I was worried about.
Yeah.
In addition to then having to find out how many cavities I had, how much was going to be wrong with my teeth. I was so sure after 7 years.
Yes.
I also thought that people would make me feel bad about it.
Yeah.
That they would shame me.
That you would feel shamed and they'd be like, 7 years of plaque. Yeah.
I'm like, I was raised Catholic. I already have enough self-inflicted guilt and shame. I actually don't need it from my dental providers. No. I don't need it from anyone else.
No.
But not my dental providers. Okay? Get out of here with that. So but I go because my friend Jess is like, we could work out a trade.
Yeah, that's right.
If you don't have to pay anything, would that help? I'm like, that would help.
Absolutely it would.
So I go.
So you don't have to pay for your shame.
Exactly.
It's free shame.
Yeah, it is free shame at least. It's not shame on top of a huge bill afterwards. And that is all one can ask at this point in the American healthcare system. Am I right, ladies?
In this economy.
So I go, they, take all the x-rays and everything. They're like, okay. So for not being here for 7 years, not bad.
Okay.
Your gums are in good shape.
Great.
They're not receding. There are levels of problems here. You're not in the critical mass stage.
Okay, great.
You do have 7 cavities.
You did.
Some were kind of big, some were tiny.
So
do you know what I mean?
One cavity per year.
Exactly.
So if you've been away for 9 years, you might have 9 cavities. And that is just called girl math. That is science. It's a fact. It's not an opinion. It's just how it is. And you can go into that feeling good, I think.
Okay. And this furthermore proves your point because Joshua, update, he had not gone in 16, 17 years. And he finally went to our Waverly Dental.
Don't tell me he had 16 cavities.
No, he had like 2 tiny ones that they were watching. And he had 1 tooth that they were like, we need to root canal it. We need to do this. He was like, how far back is it? Pull it.
That's right. You said he just had them like yank it out.
He's like, just pull it. I'm not going and doing all of that. So
well, there's all the conspiracies about root canals and dental health and what the root canals actually do to your body.
Because it's a foreign object at the end of the day, right? They have to put that thing down in there that then your tooth forms on or whatever.
And it's like touching your bloodstream. That's what people are saying is like this thing is literally connected to your bloodstream just in your head.
That's why when I was going through all my health stuff, part of it was doing some research about the dental care of it all and whether or not that root canal so one of the other things that they found. So when I went in, they were like, this 7. And like I said, some cavities needed fillings and some were like, we're watching them type thing. Or they needed just a little bit of like sealant or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I had one major problem, which was that root canal tooth, which I had been complaining about.
And that's the one you would use your little mirror to look at.
And that was completely infected underneath it. You could see like the black infection on the x-rays underneath it and how it was like spreading. And so they had to do what's called root canal therapy, which when I tell you I'd rather give birth every day of my life, which I would say that anyway, because I do love labor and delivery. But my births were easier than root canal therapy. And that is not me being dramatic because I never try to scare people with medical stuff. But root canal therapy, essentially, you have to go to the endodontist. They take your crown off. They then go into the root canal and I think untwist the thing or whatever it is. I don't actually really know what happened, but I know that they had to pack it down with antibiotics. They said we're packing it with antibiotics and then we're going to put, I think, maybe the crown back on top for a couple of weeks. The antibiotics need to try to eat away at the infection down here.
Okay.
And then you'll come back in and we'll have to do it again and again and again until the infection is gone. It took 3 hours for them to do the first appointment. So your mouth is just open. 2 different people are working on you. One person is just yanking.
Did they give you any gas or anything?
No.
They didn't give you a lorazepam?
No. Nothing.
Not a Xanax?
No, I've never taken any of those
Not
things.
a Valium Insight?
Not one. I've never taken any of those medications. Okay. I don't even know how I'd feel on them.
I do think for such a time as this, 3 hours in the mouth. I mean, my jaw wrenched open for 3 hours would cause me to have such severe TMJ and the clenching would be just beyond off the charts.
It was so bad. It was terrible. Like that was the worst
the aftermath of that.
It was terrible. And the guy had to keep saying, can you open your mouth up wider? Can you open it up wider?
Because our jaws like want to close.
They naturally want to close after a certain amount of time. He's like, please open it up more. And he said, has anybody ever told you have a big mouth? I'm like, all the time. He goes, well, they were wrong. Because I guess I wasn't keeping it open enough. I was like, okay, that wasn't your first time using that joke probably, but all right.
I feel like they should have given you anesthesia and just knocked you out.
I would have preferred that.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well, now people know if you hear that you actually need to go do this therapy, this root canal therapy.
Just pull the tooth.
Pull the tooth. If you don't want to, then you need to be knocked out for these procedures because it's not worth the trauma.
And I had to go back a second time for another 3 hours. I mean, it was not good. And then you have to go back to get the crown for them to pull the stuff out, then put the crown back on. Well, dig it out, clean it out again, then put the crown back on, and then you're finally like free to walk. And yet still, okay, well, if it starts to hurt again, we got to do x-rays and see if we have to do this again. I was like, at that point, we're pulling it.
Yeah, we're going to pull it.
I can't. I don't think I can do it again.
You'll just be toothless.
If they tell me like How to Train Your Dragon, fine. One of the best heroes of all movies.
I've worked with the homeless. I've worked with the toothless.
Homeless, not I've worked with the homeless. I've worked with the toothless.
Wait. Were you going through this when you were living in the La Quinta? Because I swear if you were homeless and toothless, that would have been so funny.
Let me go back and look, actually. The timing could maybe time out. Let me go back and look.
You might have been living in the La Quinta.
That would have been amazing because I was homeless and toothless. That is great. That is great. That was a time in my life.
It was a time.
It was a time and it was a journey. And you know what? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
That's right. Thank you, Kelly Clarkson.
So I go today. I have no cavities. I'm so relieved.
Yay.
But I haven't since that initial 7-year back. I went and had them tell me everything that was wrong. They did 2 different appointments to handle all like my little cavities and everything. I did the big root canal therapy. Since that day, I have not had another cavity since.
Oh.
I have been a picture of dental health.
I love that.
And I now just have to go in for my every 6-month cleaning like all the regular old people do.
So
who don't have dental anxiety. And I'm like, oh, because you just go in every 6 months and get your teeth cleaned.
Right.
But now, I did share a very important.
This is important.
I did share a very important thing that I was told by my dental hygienist today. And I told it over on Patreon. So if you want to know what could maybe change your life when it comes to your dental appointments.
Correct.
I have cracked a code.
Cracked a code.
Not a tooth? I jumped on your joke. I'm sorry.
No. I didn't know if you were going to catch it. That's why I was going to say it. Because when you said cracked, I was like, is she going to say tooth? No. But y'all, I can't be more real with you in this moment to say this is such a golden nugget piece of advice that I've never, ever heard. And
Me neither. I'd never been told this before.
If you truly are a dental anxiety girly, you need to go over to Patreon and you should subscribe, and it's worth your $6. It is.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll put this on tier 1. Yeah. So that's all you got to commit to. And then you'll want to bump up to 12 once you know how much you're missing out on over there. But that's okay.
That's okay.
It's a tale as old as time.
It is. Beauty and the Beast.
So my teeth are good. I feel good about it. I was eavesdropping on the room across from me.
And the dentist is a great place to do that.
Oh, I'm listening to everybody.
Everyone's in close quarters.
HGTV's on. I'm not paying attention.
No.
Love it or list it.
No.
You can lose me. Okay? You can list it. I'm not paying attention. The guy across from me was saying how he had never had braces or his wisdom teeth removed. And I was like, me neither.
Same for you.
I'm like one of the rare people who, yes, I have all my wisdom teeth and I never had braces. And it's hard to meet someone, especially my age. Like around my age, I feel like everyone, if they just had one crooked tooth, the orthodontist was like, you need braces.
Yep.
And I feel like they were telling everyone to remove their wisdom teeth.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
I was so jealous of classmates of mine.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, you get to skip an entire week of school because you got your wisdom teeth removed.
It's the best.
And you get written out. Like now I'm having to do the group project without you, Cheryl, because you got your wisdom teeth removed. Meanwhile, I've got crowding AF.
I know.
And no, he said, there's really no reason to get yours taken out. I'm like, even if it keeps biting the inside of my cheek because there's so many teeth, nope, there's really no reason.
Well, you're like King Tut. You know, we went to that, the Tutankhamun.
You did.
Display at the Biltmore. And they said when they pulled out his mummy, and by the way, you guy, I did not know about the discovery of King Tut's tomb. And
tell us more.
Okay, the way that they did this whole kind of walkthrough, you're walking through it like you are the guy that discovered it. Now, I deleted his name from my brain, so don't ask.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It was a guy.
Archaeologist?
He was an archaeologist, but it was like 1920 something.
Okay.
He knew that this tomb still existed. It was somewhere in the Valley of the Kings all these spots had been checked. He had left. He ran out of money. He came back. It was like a whole thing. Eventually, they're down to like the last little bit of land that has been untouched. And he's like, okay,
it's got to be here.
It's got to be here. This is my last effort to do this. And so he does it. And sure enough,
that's where they find it.
They come upon, but the way that the tomb was, again, didn't know all of this. It was like a tomb and a tomb and a tomb and a tomb. And so they buried him knowing people would come looking for it.
Sure, of course.
And so they made it so tight and it's just like pure gold. So you've got the inner kind of coffin, right? Sarcophagus where he is, but then there's one just on the outer edge of that and then on the outer edge of that. So to break through to it took them months. I mean, they knew they had found it, but like to even just shimmy their bodies into the crevasse to then start working on the next one was wild.
Oh my god.
So anyway, the way that you take this tour is you're feeling like the guy and what they discovered in the first layer.
Oh, I love that.
Through that. Then, okay, what was on the second layer? Oh my gosh, all of these treasures. Now we're getting, so then they thought we found the sarcophagus. They open it up. No, there's one on the inside of that.
No.
They open that up. No, there's one more on the inside of that. Deep down, finally they get to his body and they're just like, we did it. I mean, this guy's gone down in history. Still can't remember his name, but he went down in history. But anyway, years later, they end up doing all the carbon dating and all the things.
Right.
And they did an x-ray.
And they could tell.
And he still had his wisdom teeth. He had his wisdom teeth just like you.
Well, if there's anything that I wanted to know is that King Tut and I have this in common.
You do.
I do want to know that. Speaking of leaders who were buried, and I found this recent fact out about Genghis Khan.
I have so much Genghis Khan facts.
Okay. And I think I read it in the book you gave me, possibly.
Yes.
Because an idiom was related to it.
Okay, well, tell me.
Okay. So thank you for that book. I actually have already read it. Okay. I've already cover to cover.
I saw that book somewhere and I said, I know exactly who will love this book.
Love
Miranda.
Couldn't. So they have the idioms and where they come from. And then every few pages, it's like, here's just some fun facts that we couldn't quite fit into an idiom, but you might like to know. Genghis Khan, they wanted to protect where he was buried so fiercely that they murdered every person related to it. So like 600 soldiers, 2,000 lay people, anyone who was part of like the march to wherever he was going to be buried, they all got murdered. So that's why to this day, no one knows where Genghis Khan is.
Isn't that crazy that we cannot find it? I want to be a treasure hunter.
Yeah.
And actually, that will be one of my two things. But let me just say with Genghis Khan, Matt listened to this. He listens to the Fall of Civilizations podcast. And these episodes are hours and hours long. This guy does deep research. First of all, we're supposed to be calling it Chenghis.
Oh, Genghis Khan.
It's supposed to be Chenghis. I'm not going to subscribe to that. But if you want to be correct, everybody, you can say Chenghis.
Well, I do want to be correct, but I no one's going to know who I'm talking about. If I say Genghis Khan, they're going to think it's like the stripper version.
I know. Chenghis.
You know, like what I'm saying.
Like Big Chungus.
Oh.
Yeah. Not the Big Chungus.
Okay. Tell me more, Chenghis.
Number one, Genghis Khan. Number two, an obscene percentage of people living in China today
are related.
Are DNA related to Genghis Khan.
Because he procreated so much. And then that DNA, of course, multiplies.
I want to say it's like
over and over
25% of Chinese people have some ancestry with Genghis.
So then my question to that is, how do they protect inbreeding from happening because of blood and everything that happens with that? But I guess when you're so many generations removed, it's not a problem. I mean, we're all, I guess, related in some way. Like if we all go back to the Adam and Eve of it all.
Absolutely. And I think...
I guess that's...
Adam and Eve. Yeah. Adam and Eve. But think about the flood. You know, we're all related to Noah, actually, is what you're saying.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know about any of that.
You don't know Noah?
I don't know about that. I just know about pets in heaven. That's it.
I know.
But yeah, I have heard like that there's just a lot of people. And I guess that's like, is that a feather in your cap or not?
I don't know if that's a feather in the cap, but
are people like, I'm related to him.
I wouldn't want to be.
Is that a flex? Because it's not the flex you think it is.
I don't think it is. He was a really bad dude.
Terrible.
And something Matt was learning about was there are literally certain towns, cities, civilizations, communities, countries even.
Yeah.
That we only know existed because they're in the texts of Genghis and his cronies literally all they're saying is, we wiped this place off the map.
Yeah, we just went in there, we killed everybody, and no longer exists.
He's like, one of my daughter-in-laws was mad because her husband got killed in a battle. And so she said, every man, woman, and child in that city over there, I want you to level it. I want it to be burnt to ash. And that's what they would do. And so what's crazy to me is there are all of these places that existed that we don't even know about. We don't know a thing about them, the language they spoke, maybe what they looked like, what they were trading, what they were growing. We know nothing because it was completely destroyed to rubble, to ash by Genghis. So no, I don't think being related to him is a flex.
I don't think it is either. But I'm just, it's a curiosity of mine if people are like, well, I'm one of them who is, you're not. Like, there's so many of us, like, that's not a good thing.
That's not, actually, I wouldn't put that on my Instagram profile.
No, I don't think that anybody is, but I will search the hashtag later. Genghis Khan's DNA. And I will try to find at least one for us. And I'll let you know if it's in their bio. Okay?
Relanghis to Genghis.
That's the title.
That's the title. That's the hashtag. Relanghis to Genghis. I am starting that hashtag.
Oh my God. It will be the first of its kind. It will be the first. Hold on. Let's just see. Let's just see if it exists.
See if Relanghis to Genghis.
Joshua loves Genghis Grill. Have y'all ever eaten there?
I don't think
have y'all ever eaten there?
That's the one right over here, right?
Yes.
Okay, Joshua has told me about Genghis Grill and that I do need to go, and I just haven't gone, but it's right near my house.
I'm guessing that this is how you're wanting this spelled.
Yes, Relanghis to Genghis.
I just am I close? Is that Relanghis to Genghis?
That feels right.
Okay, there's
nothing.
No results.
Okay,
so you can start it.
That's going to be actually just my new account. That is my new account.
Relanghis to Genghis.
My Finsta is Relanghis.
I'll know when I start seeing you comment to people. I'll know it's you. I'll see you. You'll be like, no, that's not actually.
Wait. I'm in people's comments saying, be better.
Be better. Relanghis to Genghis. What's the profile picture on that one?
Ooh, it's going to be good. It's going to be, I'm going to pull it from like the 7th page of Google Images.
Is it going to be better than my Canva thing I sent you yesterday?
It will be better than that. It will be better.
You said I was on the right track, though.
You were on the right track. And
okay.
So you guys, she's working on her.
Not the Miranda rights one. No. Not that right now. Let me back up. You know, in Instagram where you can have private broadcast channels. So essentially, like, you can not submit, but like it's like a private group. People can choose to follow along and subscribe to it. You don't have to pay or anything. It's just like a broadcast channel, but it's where I can go drop things in. Like, let's say I bought that really cute new dress from Amazon that I showed the other day. And I was already noticing that it was starting to get low on sizes, but I hadn't had a chance to make my reel yet, which was then going to be pushed out. I would go into the broadcast channel and say, hey, y'all, I haven't put this in a reel yet, but I feel like this dress is going to start to sell out.
Yeah.
So like, if you like it, get it now. Yeah. The reel will come out tomorrow, like, and y'all won't even have to contend with it.
Yes.
Thing. So I noticed that Bobby with the eye does this. So she has a broadcast channel called The Inner Eye.
Oh.
Which is so cute.
Or she could do like the third eye.
She could do the third eye.
Wow. If she wanted to go even deeper.
Yeah, she could. Why do I always, okay, this has nothing to do with third eye, but you know how you always see the hands, like they're kind of shaped like this?
They're like this.
Like, but you know, they're kind of like, I feel like Asa from Shaw's used to, like, what is this thing?
It's something I think to do with like either Buddhism or Hinduism.
Yes.
It's one of the two. I don't know which one.
So I think of this when I think of the third eye or the evil eye or whatever.
Yeah, I do. You know, we've done
instead,
this.
I wanted to do this thing.
Yeah. Oh, I got hearts. Did you see? I just got hearts by doing
the hearts just floated away. Oh.
Wait, do it. You guys, we just got heart. YouTube, you saw it.
Hold on. Oh, there
you got it. Okay, that's really cute.
That is so cute. Okay, so Bobby with the I, her name is Bobbi. That's how she spells it. Not I-E, not Y. Yeah. So with an I. So that's why she's Bobby with the I. And she also has just a good eye for fashion and a good eye for deals and stuff. So she called her broadcast channel The Inner Eye.
Love it.
Love it.
So smart.
So I thought, well, I'll call mine Miranda Rights, right? That will be mine. And it'll be like, here are the right things you need to know or whatever. But then as I was talking to Kristin about that, she went on ChatGPT.
I went on my ChatGPT and I said, give us some ideas.
What are some ideas for a good broadcast channel for someone named Miranda who wants to show things that she loves? And it came up with
Mirandatory. You guy, Mirandatory. Is there anything? How have we not thought of that?
How have we not thought of that?
Mandatory. I mean, I feel like it's right there.
How did we not put together that strawberry jelly is red and grape jelly is purple? Sometimes it's too close.
It's too close. We're too close to it.
We are too close to it. We can't see the forest through the trees. For the trees. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I think just when you're in it, you can't see it.
But we have AI to fix all of that for us. Yeah. So thank God for ChatGPT. You hear me? You hear me, ChatGPT?
Thank you so much. We love you. You're doing great, sweetie.
You're doing great, honey.
It's 109 as we said that.
Woo!
So Kristin goes on her ChatGPT and asks, hey, what is a good name? She said Mirandatory. Literally, my nipples got so hard.
I know.
My vagina quivered.
It did.
I said, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it. Mirandatory. That's the broadcast channel name. So now I'm trying to figure out.
So she's working on a cute little logo for this.
So I went to my ChatGPT and I said, what is an image that you think of when you hear the word mandatory? Because obviously they're not going to know what Mirandatory means.
Yeah.
Even ChatGPT was going to be like, what?
Even ChatGPT has its limit.
They're not going to know. So I'm like, what do you think of when you hear mandatory? And one of the things they said was a stamp. Like a checkmark stamp. Like,
fully agree.
This is what you need to know.
Yes.
And I thought, that's really good.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. So then I went into Canva. Well, I was going to ask ChatGPT, hey, can you make me one? But getting the images back can take a long time.
It can take a long time. And it's the images of the AI. There's still work to be done with that.
Well, they're just going to Canva too, I'm convinced.
Yeah, it's I do think in the next few years, it's going to get really, really, really good. It's going to fully understand what it is you want. But as of right now, it's that the computers are still working out the kinks with the images.
And I know what some people are going to say, oh my gosh, this is replacing graphic designers and stuff. What I'm telling y'all is I was never going to hire a graphic designer to come up with my broadcast channel's logo.
No.
I was never going. I didn't spend that kind of money on a logo for my business, y'all. No. I came up with that too. So if you think that I was going to I'm not taking money from a graphic designer because I was never going to go to one.
Yeah, there was no money.
No, I was either going to go to, there was -$0.
There was
whatever's
no money
lower than that.
To begin with.
To go to that. So even now, I'm not doing that. I was either going to ask ChatGPT to make it or I was going to go to Canva, which I pay for.
Right.
And I was going to make it in Canva. Either way, the image was probably going to look similar. I just wanted to get a jumping off point.
Yes.
So it was nice for ChatGPT. They basically just came back with I went over to Canva and I typed in stamper.
Yeah.
Because when I typed in stamp, it was doing postage stamp.
Yeah.
So I did stamper, and that's when it kind of had the thing like this, and then it had a check mark kind of down on the paper.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, that's a great place to just start with.
It's a great place to start. And you did ask if it was giving pacifier.
Yeah.
I did not think that at all.
Okay.
And that wouldn't have even crossed my mind if you hadn't said it. Do you know what I mean?
Good.
I can see what you're saying, but I'm like, no, I knew exactly what this was. It's a stamper.
We can show the people.
It's a stamper with a check mark. Y'all can
with
see
that check mark, and then I just put Mirandatory
Yeah.
kind of across the stamp.
I think you should actually take this now and send it over to ChatGPT.
And then just say play with it?
And say, give me 4 different versions of this. And just see.
Okay, great idea.
Just see what it does.
So that's where we are with that. But Mirandatory is a great name. And so these are the mandatory things I recommend.
Yeah.
Mirandatory.
And then eventually the court of it all will come. Like you doing the Miranda rights.
Of course.
You want that to be a separate thing.
Exactly. Yeah. That's going to be just a separate TikTok channel. Profile. What do they call it? A TikTok
account. Well, you're going to be competing with Relanghis to Genghis, so watch out. You can add me to the famous cousins chat, because that's where I'll be.
Yeah, you will.
Know that.
Yeah, you will. Speaking of famous cousins, Alex did graduate from Yale. She got her master's the other day.
Were you there, or you just got pictures and you
Yeah, I just got pictures. Okay. I wanted to be there. I was asked to be there. It just did not end up working out with Joshua going to Vegas me trying to go there at the exact same time.
Yeah. That's why I was like, how did you go?
Things our kids needed and everything.
Yeah.
So It did not end up working out for me to be able to go, but I had my cousin Thomas, her brother was there, and I was like, send me the video, send me the pictures. I have to know exactly what's going on. Try to go on FaceTime with me as she's walking across the stage. I think it was a bit much for him.
Yeah.
So he said, I'll get a video and I'll send it over to you afterwards. And then Alex was sending me stuff too once she got off stage, holding her thesis.
We're happy for you, Alex.
So happy, so amazing.
Yale.
Yeah. Masters from you.
I've been getting a lot of college admissions content being pushed to me.
Oh, dang. I wonder
know.
why. You're not even there.
I think they're just like, you have a high schooler now. Like, they know that I have a high schooler now. And so they're like,
well, did she enter that athlete portal?
yeah, she is in the NCAA. You think that's why?
Yeah, that's why.
Okay, well, it's begun. I officially have a high schooler, everyone. She finished 8th grade yesterday.
Yeah, summer is already upon your family.
Yeah, summer has descended on the Timmerman household.
Yeah.
So
I walked up on it.
You did. You walked up on them doing the thing out there. So
Matt in his bathing suit shorts.
I know he said Miranda's going to love this.
I sure am. I mean, I would have liked it better if he was in a speedo, obviously, which I know he wears when y'all are in Europe.
Yes, he has his European speedos.
No, actually, I do like the bathing suit better. Whenever he posts pictures in a speedo, I'm like, I can't.
You have to look away.
Yeah, I'm just like, it's too personal.
Well, it's a lot of
It's
flesh.
too personal. I mean, watching a man just so much flesh. I mean, they're just teeny tiny ones too.
Yeah.
So it's everything is out. I'm just not used to. I'm used to seeing my man, who is also hairless. I just don't see a lot of guys with hair and their full bodies minus just what a tiny Speedo's covering.
Yeah, I love it.
I know you do, but it's always weird when your Europe pictures come up.
I know.
And I'm just swiping through, it's just, Matt in a pair of panties. And like, that is jarring. It is jarring to my senses. It might not be jarring to everybody else, but it is jarring to mine.
It's almost like it's almost like your brother, right?
Yeah, yes, just like in panties.
Right. It'd be like seeing someone you're related to in their panties.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot, but I love how you include the men because you're like, this chapbook will be made.
There is no dental shame from me at all when it comes to my man's tiny speedos. Okay.
Nope, not one bit.
Okay, let's get into the 2 and 2.
Okay,
we'll do it in.
Can you start us off?
I can because I wanted to revisit the King Tut searching for treasure of it all of that.
Okay.
I have always said that I really want to get into treasure hunting.
Okay.
And I think this is a passion that I really want to pursue.
It's like that sound that's like, this is a passion I've had. Oh, it's Michael Scott. This is a passion I've had since at least lunch.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
But no, you've had this for longer. This has always been a journey.
Yeah, I mean, we love geocaching, as everybody knows.
Yep.
But it's cool because over the years, there have been people who are, I don't know if they're just independently wealthy or if they're with organizations, but they will bury treasure. And I believe there was some treasure, and I should have really gotten the facts on this, but years and years, decades ago, that was buried, I want to say out west, maybe Colorado area, something like that.
Okay.
Now, they give clues. People went on a quest to find this gold, this treasure. I mean, I think that one was worth hundreds of thousands, if not into the millions of dollars. People have died searching for this treasure.
Oh my gosh.
And so there is still treasure to be found, much like Genghis.
Yeah.
We're still searching for him.
Yeah, good luck. You might die in the process of that too. They might have guards standing outside of there just ready to pop anybody off.
They do. I'm sure that they do.
I don't know.
The ghosts, ghost guards are certainly there.
Yeah.
But then Matt told me the other day that in San Francisco, all of a sudden, this sort of digital flyer starts circulating and people don't know where it started from. It's just like it started going around.
This is like Bitcoin. It's just a digital thing that started going around. Yeah. And so people now say it's true and it's worth something.
This image starts going around and it's these riddles of places and things so niche that you would have to be either from San Francisco or have some tie to it or live there, whatever, to even begin to understand. And people were putting these clues into ChatGPT and saying, what can you tell me? But whoever wrote this knew that people would do that.
Of course they did.
And so they got real clever with it.
Okay.
And so I will share this in receipts, y'all, so y'all can see what the riddles looked like. But anyway, did
they make a YouTube video about this?
I don't think so. Now, there might be a treasure YouTube video.
I do. Okay.
For a different treasure.
Sounding something similar. Okay.
Because there is definitely unfound treasure in the United States. There is. Of course. There's some in North Carolina. I think Matt said maybe on the Outer Banks where you hate.
Well, I'm not driving there for it.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm just saying.
No.
Anyway, this starts going around.
Okay.
Matt is just really dialed in. Now, we were like, we're not going to fly to San Francisco.
But how do people know about it? It's being posted on social media.
That's what I'm saying. It just was being shared on X. It was being shared on social media. People don't know what the origin was.
Are we sure that these people are not just effing with us?
Oh, no, they weren't because it was found.
Okay, but I'm saying, couldn't other people just float this idea
sure.
and then people are running all over America trying to find something and
Absolutely.
It's really just a hoax?
They had said, so whoever buried this said it is $10,000. It is worth $10,000.
Okay.
So some of it's in gold.
Okay.
Some of it's in cash. Some of it's in valuable items. And sure enough, maybe after 2 weeks-ish,
Okay.
this random kid
Found it.
on X was like, found it. And it's him and his dog outside, and it's, he doesn't really give away where he was, but you can see that it's coming up out of the ground.
Okay.
And then he did a follow-up video where he's going through all the gold nuggets and the money and everything.
That's
and
so cool.
everybody was just going gaga for this. And I just think there's a business to be made doing this. I
Okay.
really do. I think Mr. Beast should do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, the first thing that I think of is a YouTube channel of someone who has obviously tons of disposable income and they want to buy something worth value, obviously. And then you go and you bury it or you put a location on it.
I just think it would be so rad. So I'm going to reach out to Mr. Beast and say, you should just be doing like monthly treasure hunts. And maybe some of them are 50,000. You could do one every once in a while. That's like $500,000. I mean,
maybe he doesn't want the liability associated with it.
It could be. I do wonder. Matt and I talked about that. I'm like, I do wonder. There's got to be, again, because people have died searching for a treasure.
Yeah.
Before. If it's like way underwater,
it's giving liability
deep in a mountain. I think they'd have to figure out a way around that. But what else would bring America together than people just running around
sailing with Phoenix?
I mean, think about it.
He's bringing people together.
He is, and it's because it's different and it's interesting and it's adventure. Yes. And I just think America needs this. We need treasure hunting.
Okay. I do. I co-sign on that.
Okay,
I think that we do need treasure hunting, and I will do my best that if I am wealthy to bury one and let the people find it.
Yes, I love that.
It's not going to happen yet. Yet. The power of yet.
Yet. Not yet.
Not yet. But yet. Okay. Speaking of treasures, but I already told you about this one, the Pokemon at the strip club.
Oh yeah.
And then what
Still
happened?
want to go, but that will be on our bus tour.
And then what happened? People found Charlotte account after our episode aired, by the way.
You're right.
Charlotte then takes a picture of it and sends it around, and the reel went viral. So
no.
So true.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Yep, went viral. After our episode.
We're so late to the game with everything.
I mean, I took a picture of it for receipts. I should have just made it into a reel.
Yeah, you should have.
I don't know that that's interesting. I obviously, I find it interesting enough to talk about on here. Miranda, just translate it to the phone.
Okay, but it's hard.
My God, my God. My God, my God.
Okay, you have to segue treasure and or
speaking of things, well, I was going to say outdoors because people are hunting outdoors.
Yeah, speaking of things outdoors.
So things that are outdoors, this is something I've been wanting to talk to y'all about for weeks now. And I found out about this from my friend Katrina Hutchins. Okay, the pollen of it all.
Ooh.
The pollen of it all. Why is the pollen so bad? Why are we coated in yellow? Now, it's kind of gone away by now because we're in late May, so it's not nearly as bad. But some places are now starting to have pollen hit, right?
Yes.
And everybody's like, why is it so bad? And why does it seem to be getting worse year after year after year? And so I'm here to talk to y'all about botanical sexism.
Botanical sexism.
Because we know... We could call Matt that. Botanical sex.
Ooh,
in a Speedo.
In a Speedo.
That's
He's
Matt.
giving botanical sexism in his Speedo. Gosh, I love that.
Okay. So here's where the pollen of it all comes from and why there is so much specifically in Charlotte and in larger cities. Because botanical sexism is the act of planting certain trees. So there are male trees and there are female trees. Like the majority of biology, right? We have male and female organisms in every single way. Well, same is true in the botany world. Okay?
There are certain trees people prefer to plant, is what you're saying.
Exactly, because male trees flower and female trees fruit drop.
Mm.
And so
we're all wanting the flower.
Exactly, because the female trees, which were dropping all the fruits, became a nuisance to city planners because they had to clean them up.
Clean up the fruit.
And so they started to plant a ton of male trees instead in large cities. And when trees would die, they would replace them with male trees. And so the majority of Charlotte has male trees, which are all flowering, which is where the pollen comes from.
No freaking
So, another thing we can blame men for, I guess. No, I'm just kidding.
We are decentering men.
Another thing that we should have decentered men in years ago, I guess, was the planting of the trees.
Are the female trees not producing pollen like the male trees are?
The female trees produce fruit, but that has its own set of problems. So when city planners started to like really look at this situation, they had sanitation workers who were having to come through and clean up the fruit.
Rotten fruit.
Exactly. So instead they said, we'll just plant male ones, not really thinking about the fact that, well, the flowering then creates the pollen then is a nuisance to people, and you have the allergies and all of that sort of stuff. But there's a part of me that's just, follow the money, see where it goes, right? So if we have a lot of pollen and we have a lot of allergies, then we need a lot of allergy doctors and we need a lot of medicine to deal with the allergies. So were all these people just in cahoots together? I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'd say so.
I would say so. Give it 6 months. The truth will come out.
What do you think about that?
I think that there is much truth to that. And let me piggyback on this because this is something, and it could be possibly related to this.
Okay.
And it's something I noticed, again, a few weeks ago.
When I were very alert a few weeks ago.
I've been very alert. Not so much this week, but 3 weeks ago. Wherever the moon was in retrograde, I was focused.
And wherever your luteal phase was in your period.
I can't.
The TikToks, the people that keep track phases of the cycle that women are just now figuring out, like, this is the luteal and this is the this and this is the that. I'm just like, I don't need to know.
I don't like whatever the tides are doing with the moon and the blood inside the womb. Like, I don't know. And I can't even begin to think about this.
I can't begin to care.
I can't pretend to
People
care.
are now eating around their cycles. This food helps better during this part of my cycle and this and that and blah, blah. And I'm not doing this and I'm sleeping more. And now I can see why I'm more irritable. So I'm adjusting how I work now. Meetings I don't take in this part of my phase, but I'll take that. I'm like,
whoa. Wow.
I mean,
now here's the thing. I bet all of that is true. I bet all of that is true, right?
I'm sure
because
it is.
we are biological beings, just like these trees.
Yeah.
We are all connected to the earth.
Yeah.
And so we there probably is a lot to that. But in today's day and age, like, we can't just be sitting in the Australian outback, like sitting on the rocks and thinking about the moon and eating plums at a certain time of day. Like, there's just not, we don't have time in modern society to do that.
It's just funny to me how things take off. It's funny, and I know it's all because of social media, and here we are talking about it, but it is funny to me that even 3 years ago, the majority of women who this actually happens to, we could not even name the 4 phases of our menstrual cycle, right?
So true.
Of our cycle. And now it's like, you got to know about it. You got to care about it. You got to eat around it. You got to plan your meetings around it. You got to do this. You got to change your sleeping patterns. You can't take these medicines during this part of your cycle. And it's like, is it truly helping? Or is that just adding a whole nother layer of something to give up about?
Yep.
And now burning our brains with more information.
I think you're correct. I think you're correct. It's adding a whole new layer of stress.
God.
It's like, I ate toast and the planets weren't aligned. Like, that's I can't. I'm actually deleting this from my brain because I know myself.
I didn't even say it.
You didn't even say it.
Well, you're not getting a period anyway.
I'm not. It doesn't matter.
I'm not getting a period.
Whatever I was doing all along, I guess, really wasn't working because it just disappeared.
It's because you didn't know your phase.
Anyway,
3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago, when the planets were aligned.
Yes.
I had this thought, and I said to Matt, I used to drive around town, but specifically on the highways. I'm on 485, 77, whatever. And my windshield would be covered in bugs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You remember this, right? Growing up.
Yeah.
And then you'd go to the gas station. You'd have to get the scrubber. You'd clean your windshield off.
Yeah.
Where are the bugs?
You're right.
Where are the bugs?
Well, we only see them on our road trips. We only see the bugs on our road trips, and I would have to say...
Yeah, like what parts of the country? Do you feel like certain parts are actually still buggy?
Absolutely. There were parts that were... I mean, there was it last year's road trip when we went to CDA, Coeur d'Alene, or was it 2 summers ago when we went to Coeur d'Alene? I remember Joshua was driving down Main Street of Coeur d'Alene, gorgeous place in Idaho, y'all.
Idaho,
Everyone should go there. Stunning, picturesque. It's like out of a movie. They call it CDA for short, but it's Coeur d'Alene. And so we were driving down Main Street, and I was filming it because what I realized is people really liked, not so much, they like when I go on road trips and all the commentary and posting from all places, but they like when I just record kind of going down Main Street and they can kind of see left to right.
Yeah.
Because the majority of people are never going to go to some of these places, right? And so whether it's Butte, Montana, or Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, or wherever, I just started to film down Main Street. And when I tell you, from even the beginning of that 60-second video to the end, and Joshua had just done our wipers, in those 60 seconds, I was like, sorry about all the bugs, guys. Like, we cannot keep up with scrubbing the windshield. So there are certain places where there are tons of bugs.
So the bugs
seasons
are still, I guess what we're saying is the bugs are still kind of in more rural areas that are away from super big cities, I would guess. Mm-hmm. I just know even in college, driving from Charlotte to Raleigh.
Oh, yeah, we couldn't keep our windshields clean.
Like, there would be bugs. But now I drive up to my sister's in Chapel Hill. Like, we're not stopping to clean our windshield.
No, you're right. And even, I'm not even having to turn mine on for bugs. Usually it's just more for like construction.
And I can hear the sound of the bug hitting the windshield.
No, it definitely was on like the open highways when we're traversing across America.
So let's think about now. You're saying if city planners are only planting the male trees,
yes,
is that somehow affecting the bugs that are there or not there?
Potentially. I mean, I'm sure that they're all connected.
It's connected for sure.
Of course they're all connected. And again, it all is going to come back to money of some sort, whether it is, and it's always about making it, right? It's never about like, it could be about saving it. I'll give them that. But then it's also about making it because somebody has to make the money and are they spraying a bunch of stuff and it's just alleviating bugs from being in this bubble of sorts?
That's what I'm wondering. Is it just pesticides? Is it just spray in general? But if I'm remembering from 20 years ago, like what have y'all been doing in the last 20 years is what I'm saying. 20 years ago, there were bugs on the windshield. Now there's not.
Yeah.
So are y'all going to fess up? Is it
Is
it the weather modification that you're all doing? Is it the chemtrails that you're spraying on all of us? Like someone please stand up and say what you're doing.
Yeah, someone just explain it. Okay, maybe that's a good Google. Where have all the bugs gone? Where have all the bugs gone?
That? I loved that album. I would sit in my bathroom growing up and just take and I would listen to that whole album while taking a bath. So if that was a 2-hour album, I took a 2-hour bath.
Well, we know how you love your baths.
I do.
Were you taking baths even in high school?
Oh, yeah.
Have you always been a bath girl?
You know, I have. But Matt did say after I had my first child, after I had Tinsley, the baths really
ramped up.
It ramped up a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to? Just needing a break?
I think needing a break. And I would also, how I would bathe my children is I would get in the bath with them and they would lay on my knees, like on my propped up legs. And I could breastfeed her and then clean her and then breastfeed some more. And we were just in the warm water and we were happy.
Oh, God, that sounds so nice.
Doesn't that sound nice?
It does sound nice. I'm not even being facetious.
I know.
It does. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I was doing a beautiful thing.
Toss. Okay, how are you going to segue out of breastfeeding in a bath?
Hang on, Paula Cole was the name.
Paula Cole.
I was trying to remember.
Could not have come up with that to save my life. I have Natalie and Bruglia stuck in my head because Heather was talking about her on her most recent episode.
I think I was kind of thinking Natalie.
Or like a Julian and Natalie, and like they kind of all were going together at the same time. Now, did you have to hide when you were listening to her, or was that allowed? Because I know Enya wasn't.
Enya was
too
not.
New age.
But I think Paula Cole was allowed, because I was happily listening to it on the boombox. I remember that boombox, and we put the CD in.
Yeah.
And that is where I was listening to a lot of the J-Lo on the 6 album.
Yeah.
Listen to that
As one does.
A lot.
A lot.
And then the burnt CDs started coming into play.
You know that the whole conspiracy theory is that J-Lo doesn't actually sing her own songs and never has. That there's this other artist who does all of it and has just like kept a quiet life.
I fully believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, if that comes out as true, I will not be shocked.
NT Lawyer has stood by that for a very, very, very long time. Back in the day when I was subscribing to NT Lawyer's Patreon, I found that out.
So are we saying she's doing like a Milli Vanilli situation?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
J-Lo. Mm-hmm. Has anyone ever...
She can dance her ass off, though.
But has anyone ever put her on the spot, like in an interview like this, where she has a microphone and they've said, sing a few bars for me? Has anyone ever done that?
No clue.
Like they did to Iggy Azalea?
I know, crazy. Whoa.
That was bad.
That's
I loved
bad.
Iggy Azalea. I don't care if it's fake rap.
I don't either.
I don't care if it's fake rap. If the beat is
good, we can dance.
Let it be good.
Let it be.
Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let her be. That's from Sesame Street. Let her be.
I get it now. Like
that's how they
L-E-T-T-E-R.
That's how they taught kids the letter B.
I did not. I did not watch that. It's so smart though.
Ooh, okay. I want to get, since we're singing and we're talking about news, we're talking about music. I want to give y'all some music news.
Okay.
And I've been keeping just a list. Again, this goes back 3 weeks ago when the planets were aligned.
I just got it. This is like when I take my Adderall and like everything happens that day. Yeah. Whatever that was that your Adderall day?
It might have been my Adderall day because there's been a few. Every once in a while, there's an Adderall or whatever the generic's called.
Okay. Go.
Now, I have shared this with you. I don't know. Did we share with the podcast that Justin Bieber is posting a lot now?
Yes, we did. And that we are worried about him and we can't quite figure out what's happening because publicly presenting when it's like Haley and Justin are still together and they're posting together sometimes and everything looks fine. But then Justin's with these other randos who I don't like in his orbit, and he is looking nuts.
So Justin on his Instagram, y'all just know, because we had told y'all that there were some videos that came out where he was tweaking and not looking great, but now he's just power posting on his Instagram.
Yes.
And it is interesting to see some behind the scenes of their life.
Correct.
But it does make me wonder, almost like, did a therapist tell him, Justin, maybe it would be good for you to share some things in your life, with all the Diddy stuff going on. I don't know.
I don't
know.
Well, Justin has come out. This is an update. Justin has come out and said that did not happen. Like, I was in his orbit, but he did not abuse me. That has come out. That is huge news.
Shut up. Did he release like a statement or was this in an interview? Or?
I believe that he released a statement through his lawyer because because of all these erratic videos and everything. People, of course, were linking two and two together, much like we were.
Yeah.
This was our hypothesis. And so he came out through his representative and was like, hey, I'll look it up. You keep going.
You guys, that's a huge... I'm so glad that I even brought up Justin Bieber you could share that.
I do think that that's important and I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay, what else? More news is... Do you love the song Bluest Flame?
I don't know if I know that.
Oh, I just want to go all night. I just want to go all
day.
Hotter than the bluest flame. Hotter than the bluest flame.
I didn't know that it was called Bluest Flame.
Yes, it's called Bluest Flame.
Okay.
And it is by our girl Selena. And here's what's crazy.
Okay.
This song comes out and I heard it on a reel, let's say.
Okay.
Then I go over to the iTunes, of course, because I need to add that to my library.
Okay.
But at first, I was a little bit irritated because I was like, this is Charlie XCX. Yeah. I'm sorry, but like this has completely been swiped from the Brat era album.
I thought that it was Charlie XCX singing that song.
Correct.
It's Selena.
It's Selena Gomez.
Unbelievable.
And so I
don't believe that.
Okay, so I was feeling a little bit moody about it, you know? Again, Mercury, the moon. I was in a mood and it hit me wrong. And so much so that I did do a little deep dive because I thought I cannot be the only one who's hearing this and feeling a little mad. Charlie produced it.
Okay.
Charlie helped write it and she produced it.
All is forgiven.
So all is forgiven.
All is forgiven.
And in fact, that makes me like Selena more.
Okay.
Because she's recognizing this gift that Charlie has and she's saying, hey, I want you on my new album with my mans.
As long as Charlie's getting her queens?
Yes, she's getting her queens.
I'm fine with it.
But what's crazy is I was driving down the road.
Yes.
I turn it on. I'm bopping. And it's just Lachlan and me in the car. And Lachlan goes, he can read on the screen. He goes, Mom, that doesn't say Charlie XCX. Lachlan, my 6-year-old.
He's locked in.
He's so locked in.
He's so locked in, and that's the difference. And not everybody is.
And I smiled so big.
You said, I've never been more proud, son.
I turned around while driving. I turned right around and I said, Lachlan, that is a great ear you have. It does sound like Charlie, doesn't it?
It sure does.
And he said, yeah.
You're raising him right.
He said, but that doesn't say Charlie. I said, well, let me tell you about a woman named Selena Gomez.
And her weird engagement photo. Because, man, can we go back to that for just a second?
Oh, my gosh. So anyway, if anyone else was feeling irritable when you're hearing Blue as Flame because you were worried for Charlie, don't worry. She was on the album. Okay, next bit of music news. The new Kesha song, Yippee-Ki-Yay. Are you dialed into that?
No.
This came out right after we had our entire T-Pain discussion on this here podcast.
Something with Kesha?
Yes, Kesha and T-Pain released a song called Yippee-Ki-Yay. It's a fabulous, fabulous song.
Have I heard it? Can you play a little bit of it?
Yeah, let me see.
While you look that up, let me just say, here's the
statement.
Justin Bieber is clearing up rumors that he was victimized by Sean Diddy Combs in a statement from his rep acquired by Access Hollywood. Quote, although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve, end quote.
Okay.
So we have this came out... I mean, they published just 57 minutes ago, but I had heard about it.
But recently enough.
Y'all, I don't know how. Yeah, one day ago. I'm like, I swear I did not just make it up. A day ago I did. Okay. Yeah. Justin Bieber addresses this. So it was actually addressed, I think, a day or two ago, but other places are just now picking up on it because it kind of went under the radar.
Yes.
Like, you didn't hear about it.
I didn't hear about this.
And we've been talking about this and we follow Justin and everything.
It should have been fed to me and it wasn't.
But I did. I don't know. Maybe I heard about it on the Toast or something, but they're on maternity leave.
They're on maternity leave.
I don't quite know, but I'm just glad. I'm glad that he wasn't, if that's true.
Yes, agree. Have you heard this?
Oh, yes. I know the refrain.
There's T-Pain.
Does he say short A?
Okay, so I just need y'all to know
that is so good. I've heard the refrain, but I had not heard any of the build-up.
It is such a bop. I just love when a song is written and you immediately know this is a bop. It's great. It just makes our ears happy.
It's a summer song.
It's a summer song, and I needed everybody to know that.
Oh,
okay.
T-Pain sounds good on it, too.
He sounds really good. And he's staying relevant, and we love that for T-Pain.
He is staying relevant, and that's because he has all his Twitch streamers.
He has his Twitch stream. He's not under pressure to do anything with his music, and I think that frees him to actually make great music.
Well, he already made enough back in the day.
Yeah.
You could live on royalties alone if you're good with your money, and then now you're making buku's streaming, and you're still being asked to be featured on songs by hitmakers.
T-Pain is timeless.
He is. And let me go back to this. I'm not calling Justin a liar.
Okay.
I'm just saying that, like, if he wasn't hurt by him, I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled for that because I want there to be less victims, not more. But is there a world in which he might be saying this because he just doesn't want any part of it too? Sure.
Yes.
But I'm going to take Justin at his word because his word is his bond. And I will just say, okay, then it didn't happen. I'm glad for that. But Sean Diddy Combs is a monster. And I've been listening to what is being said during these trials. And it is horrific.
Yeah.
Horrific what he put people through in the name of sex.
And if for sex. I mean, that's what it is. It was for like pleasure and getting your jollies off.
But he is so, I mean, I don't care what you're into.
No, this is beyond.
This is beyond kink and all that sort of stuff.
No.
It is so disgusting and it's so abusive. And you know what he did to the women in this situation and probably men too.
Yes,
we just, you know,
100%.
It's just terrible. It is terrible what he has done. And I hope that they have enough. We only have 3 victims who are speaking out here. Only 3.
But you know there
are
more.
hundreds. There are thousands.
Yeah.
There are so many who are scared to come forward and talk because, he's in prison, but he's not gone.
Yeah.
He's not gone. And they are so worried about retaliation. And that just speaks to the level of like fear that he put into people. Ugh. What a monster.
What a freaking monster.
Gross.
All right. Continuing our music news. Mm-hmm. I need people to know that you can link your Instagram to your Spotify.
Oh, okay. Why would someone want to do that?
Here's why that's important.
Okay.
You might be scrolling on the gram and here comes a song on somebody's reel. And that does tickle your ear. And you think, I love the way that song sounds. It could be something slow and sad. It could be a bop like Kesha. It doesn't matter. You like the song. Now you can click on that song. And when you're looking at all the reels that feature it, there's a little Spotify link, a little Spotify icon. You click on that and it's going to add it to a playlist. And it's going to add it to your Spotify.
Whoa.
It's a big deal.
That's huge. So not for me, but that's huge for you.
It's huge for me and any of you other
musical people. Yes. Yeah.
And then last thing on Spotify, and I'm actually an Apple Music girly, but I do dabble in the Spotify.
Okay.
And I think I will be more because now they have a DJ on Spotify.
Yes.
Okay. So now you go to your Spotify, you open it up, and maybe you're like in the mood for whatever song. They have a space where you search and it says, go to your DJ.
Yep.
And it's your specialized for you DJ. And so I clicked on him and he goes, hey, Kristin, what's up? What mood are we in today? I've picked some new music for you. I know I'm going to give you some classics that you love to listen to on repeat, but I'm going to sprinkle in some new things that you're going to love. Literally, this guy is talking to me.
Did he deliver?
He did deliver.
Oh.
He did deliver. And I wasn't able to like stay for like a long DJ session.
No.
But I had heard about this and I was like, I got to at least dig into this a little bit. And it's legit. I mean, the DJ talks to you specifically.
In a regular voice.
And it sounds...
Can you play the voice?
Yeah, let's see if I can get it.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, guys. So you pull up your Spotify. You're going to go to search. Scroll down a little bit when you're at search and it says made for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then right in that top left corner where all the good things are, is your DJ. So you're going to click on your DJ. It's still in beta testing. I mean, that's how new this is.
Okay.
Because I want him to talk to you.
We're going to turn the calendar to the early 2000s. I got some of your kind of thing here. I'll Stramiria Records on first.
Okay, so that's his voice. Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds like a real person.
Mm-hmm. But he will say my name. I mean, he will talk to me.
Directly.
And that wow. So if I click, let's look at this.
All right, changing it. I'm going to try out some new discoveries on you. Let's see what you think. Song from the Rare Occasions up first.
So you just keep, I like this. Oh, yeah.
It's good. I like it.
That is great for reels, actually.
It's great for reels. Okay, so my second thing is going to be about music, too.
Let's go.
This is, you're discovering new music. I just had to go to see a new band the other night.
Ooh, wow.
With Allison Dawsey.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you miss all of this?
I missed all that.
Okay.
Because my Opal's keeping me off Instagram.
Oh, my gosh. You are missing so much,
I know. You have to update me here.
Oh, boy. Okay. So Allison tagged me in an Instagram post. I mean, this all goes together. The segue writes itself. But she tagged me in a post last week, like at the end of last week. And I opened it up and it was this woman just talking directly to camera saying, does anybody have like a vintage, old, really cool car that we could shoot a music video in or shoot a music video with? And so I'm like, oh, that's why Allison must have tagged me. And Allison didn't even know my parents had one. She just figured Mayor Miranda would know someone with an old car that maybe this band could use while they were here in Charlotte performing on Monday night. And they wanted to do a music video. Could they use a car? So, of course, I see this and I'm like, I DM them and just say, my parents have a 57 Lincoln. I don't know if that's kind of the vibe you're going for, but if so, you can borrow it. Because they didn't even want to drive it. They literally just wanted to like film either in it or around it. Like didn't even need to be moving. So I said, yeah, you guys could like come to their driveway if you wanted to. We'll pull it out and you can use it. They were so sweet. So the band's name is Lucius. Lucius. And so I'm talking back and forth with the girl. She's like, okay, does this date, does this time, blah, 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 blah. We go back and forth. I'm like, yeah, that's all great. We'll have it ready to go for you. So then turns out a couple of days later, she was like, hey, it turns out that we're probably going to have to shoot this music video in Richmond, which was their next tour date or their next tour stop.
Yeah.
Instead of Charlotte. But thank you so much for like being so willing. And I'm sorry to have wasted your time. I'm like, you don't waste any of my time. It's fine.
Yeah.
But she was like, I'd love to offer you some tickets to the show.
Aww.
Just like as a thank you.
That's so nice.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I would love them and I'll give them to So Allison tagged me because she's like their biggest fan.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm like, well, I'll just give them to Allison. So I write Allison and I say, hey, would you like the 2 tickets to Lucius on Monday night? And she like was so grateful. She started crying. She's like, because, you know, she's a single mom. She doesn't spend money on herself. She doesn't do these sorts of things. Whereas I'm like, YOLO.
Yeah.
But she does not YOLO.
She does
at
not
all,
YOLO.
At all. And so she's like, I would love it. Thank you so much. But will you go with me?
Yeah.
Even though I don't know one note of one song of this band, I was afraid Allison would not go if I didn't go with her.
Yeah.
I feel like she would have just said, okay, I'm not going to use the tickets. If I can't find anybody to go, no. We're not passing up that opportunity. So I said, of course I'll go with you. I'll go watch them. I can dance to whatever. I can vibe with whatever. For the most part, I do not like heavy metal.
Yeah, no. I don't think heavy metal's for me.
I don't love that. But just about anything else, I feel like I can get into it. So I say, yes, I'll go. Let's meet at Cabo Fish Taco beforehand because it was going to be at Neighborhood Theater, everything. But in the meantime, I write back the girl and I'm like, so I'd love the 2 tickets. I'm going to take my friend Allison, who, you know, is the one who connected us and everything. She is your biggest fan, but she is a single mom. She would have never bought the tickets for herself. So thank you so much. Am I pushing my luck here? Is there any way I could get you guys to like say hi to her, meet her, something while we're there? And she was like, of course, I'll do a meet and greet for the 2 of y'all. So,
oh my gosh. Did you tell Allison this was happening?
I did not. I did not. So we go to dinner. We have a great dinner at Cabo. My first time ever eating at Cabo Fish Taco, believe it or not. I know, Charlotte native, have never eaten there before.
What did you think? Did you like?
I loved my taco that I got.
Yeah, it's great.
It's delish. Got like a grilled shrimp taco. We split it actually. And so we go over, we're walking up to the Neighborhood Theater. She sees their tour bus. She's like, oh my gosh, that's their tour bus. Oh my God, there's the marquee with their name on it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that we're doing this. And that's when I said, is right now a good time to tell you that you're going to meet them?
Oh my
And she was like, no, stop, Miranda, no. Oh my gosh. Does my shirt look okay? I'm like, you have time. We aren't meeting them till afterwards. But yes, you look great. Stop worrying about it. They're just so happy to meet you. And so she was like, I'm going to have to call Ava and tell her daughter. And so she was just so giddy. The whole thing was precious. Gosh. We go in, we listen to the opener, Victoria Canal, great voice. Then, and Victoria Canal does not have a right arm.
Oh.
And she plays the guitar and the piano.
How is she playing guitar?
Amazingly. So the left hand is changing all this, and then she has like down to here, and she just strums with this bottom part of her arm.
She could just strum like that.
Just has to strum, and she has to bend down a little bit more. I'm like, I bet your back is
oh
killing
my!
you, girl.
The amount of talent, I cannot get over that.
That's Allison and I were like, okay, so we don't have any excuses for not going to Hilliard tomorrow.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean?
No excuse. If this girl is up there singing her original songs and playing the guitar and missing part of her arm.
And then to play the piano, I mean, she's like, and then this one's just, boo, 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 boo. I mean, it was incredible. It was so cool. I was like,
I'm supporting her. I'm supporting her.
This girl's amazing. Oh, and like Chris Martin, like with Coldplay, I don't know if he discovered her, but like they're cool. She just performed on Jimmy Kimmel's Tonight Show a couple weeks ago. She was at the Kennedy Center. She has performed with like at the Hollywood Bowl with the Los Angeles Harmonic. Like, it was crazy. This girl I said, I'm honored that we're here. Like, she's the opener for Lucius.
Unbelievable.
Okay, so she was dope. She was great. Beautiful voice, everything. The talent, insane.
Okay.
Then Lucius comes on, and they are giving like ABBA. Okay.
Okay,
so
how are we spelling Lucius, just so I know?
Luicius. Does that sound right?
Lucius.
Lui. Start with that.
Oh, wait, is it this? Is this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Lucius.
Okay.
Lucius.
And so it's 2 best friends from college, but they look very 60s. Very mod is their vibe. And they
Oh, yeah. Look at this picture of them there.
Isn't it giving ABBA? They were phenomenal.
I'm adding this.
Phenomenal. I was so excited. I was like, I'll become their biggest fan now. I'm going to be a bigger fan than Allison is.
Yeah, you're like, this is my new personality.
This is my new personality.
Is to follow Lucius around the country.
Follow Lucius and listen to Lucius. And I am now, I'm going to be obnoxious about Lucius.
I love it.
They were so good.
Okay, I'm excited. I'm downloading all the things right now.
Watching Allison watch them, like watching her sing along and just belt it out. And you know, she has such a great voice.
Yes. Oh, she does.
She has such a great voice.
That's right.
So to listen to her, then harmonize with them who are already harmonizing with each other, I was like, I am so lucky to be here. I'm so lucky to be here and to watch a friend do her thing. It's the same way when people watch me watch the Royals or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, it's just like, this is the same. And it was so amazing to be there. And then afterwards, we go up to where I was kind of told to be. And I mean, Allison just loves everything about it. Because when we walk in, one person's like, hey, can I see your tickets? I'm like, I think I'm on a list. Because I didn't have to, like, I was on a list. So Allison's like, oh, we're on a list.
We're on a list. It's so bougie.
So I go over to the girl and I'm like, I'm Miranda Miller. She's looking there. Oh, this is Miranda, says to the other girl. This is Miranda. This is Miranda. Then they give me this special sticker that I need to wear, I guess, for the meet and greet and give one to Allison. And then they're like, okay, you guys can just bypass, this line. And I was like, okay, cool. And then we go to our spots and we're standing for the concert. And then afterwards they had said, go to the right down by the stage and you'll know what to do from there. So I go down to that guy and I'm like, hey, I'm Miranda. And he was like, oh, okay, they'll see you now. And then it was just like, walked just Allison and me back there and up to their little space. And Allison was just like, oh my God, she could barely walk up the stairs. I was like, you got this. You can do this, Allison. Keep going. One foot in front of the other. You got this. And she was like, hi. And of course they're so sweet. They're like, hey, I'm Holly. I'm Jess. She's like, I know your names. I'm Allison. And then it was just so pure and so sweet. So pure and so sweet
Allison,
to watch and get to meet them.
I am so delighted for you.
I know.
I just feel like as adults, there's not many people that would be so tickled to meet.
Yes.
So it might be a band or it could be Princess Kate or whoever. And so for her to have that moment is so special. All because she tagged you.
Exactly.
So really, Allison, you made that happen for yourself.
Yeah, she kept being like, oh my God, thank you. I'm like, you did it. You got us here.
Yes, she
did.
did.
You tagged me. And she goes, I didn't even know your parents had a car. Like, I just figured you know someone with a car. And I'm like, well, yeah, but this is all because you tagged me, not because I did something special. I just so happen to answer it back.
Yeah, and have this conversation.
And they were lovely enough to even offer it, even though they didn't even freaking use the car. They still offered the tickets in the meet and greet.
You have pictures and video of all of this.
Of course I do.
I will have to scroll through and look at all this because, again, I missed it all. But I'm so happy for her.
I have been wondering why you haven't been commenting on anything. It's a little sad. I feel like we're not sharing our lives together anymore with each other.
I know, you guys. It's the opal. It's all, my apps.
That's annoying.
They destroy
I need you
my
to
life.
stop. I canceled Pear. That's an update.
You did?
I canceled it. I said I cannot continue to answer these same. I don't have the attention span to answer these same questions over and over again. How many different ways are you getting? Not even just about the sex anymore. It's just like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how connected? Shut up. I don't care. I hate it. I love it. I said, Joshua, I don't have the attention span anymore. I have to be done with this. He goes, I can't quit because he's never missed a day. He has the perfect streak.
He has a streak.
He has the perfect streak. I was like, well, then I'm going to cancel it and your streak will be gone.
Oh, no.
So his response was, okay, so I write him.
Tell me what
I literally turned off my Pear notifications because I thought we were done using it. And now I see I have 24 unanswered. He goes, I need you to tell me definitively that you want to stop it. Otherwise, my streak stays alive. I said, ha, 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 ha. It's done. No more. I don't have the attention span to keep answering the same questions. He said, quitter. He said, I might keep it going so I don't lose my streak. I said, no, babe, please stop. He said, then when we get divorced, I can tell everyone you gave up on us on this day. I said, it's okay to quit things.
He screen grabs this text.
He said, well, actually, you gave up 7 days ago. I did the eye roll emoji. I said, I didn't know you were still going. I'm going to cancel it so you can't keep going. I'll release you from these chains. He said, I'm devastated. I'm going to look for comfort in the arms of some strange woman tonight because he's in Vegas. I said,
oh, yeah, he's in Vegas.
I said, maybe you'll find one at the Star Wars strip review because they now have a new female review and it's the Star Wars theme.
No.
He saw it on big signs coming into Vegas.
No.
And he's like, babe, you will not believe they have a Star Wars theme one. I was like, you got to go. He's like, I would never go to that. I said, I know, but just like for the funny.
I know, but I'm curious.
I got to know. Like,
I want to know what it's like.
That's what I said too. He's like, then you can go to it. I was like, no, I probably won't. But anyway, I just have to cancel Paired. I can't continue to do this.
Okay, I understand. If he wants to do streaks, he could do Opal and it will give him streaks.
Okay.
And he gets the gems and you get to apply the gems.
I'll let him know about that instead.
I feel like he would like that. It just gives him a way to have a streak of something. It's a pat on the back.
He likes to go streaking.
Yeah.
So
maybe that's where all this originates from.
He loves to be naked.
Yeah.
So maybe, y'all, my mail lady did see me fully nude.
No.
Yeah, it happened. You know, it was only topless. But here's what I saw.
Wait, when was this?
Last week. I just saw a little dust bunny in a corner. So I went to go get my long-handled vacuum thing.
No.
And I got the dust bunny out, and then it triggered something in my brain that there was a dust bunny hanging above our front door frame, and it had been there for God knows how long. And I see it every day, multiple times a day, and never do I go get the long-handled vac. But since it was already in my hand,
Sure.
I said, I'm going to go and do this right now before I forget.
Yeah.
So I walk out naked because I had been in my bedroom sucking up the other dust bunny. I can be naked in there. So then I walk out to the front door, literally front and center in front of my big window panes, 2 double doors of it. I'm reaching up with thank God I was reaching up because I am hotter reaching because it kind of stretches all of this out.
Yeah.
And so I reach up and I suck it. And of course, that's when she pulls right up and she has to pull into our driveway and into our turnaround to then get back down the driveway. And just locked eyes. Locked eyes, hand up, back,
your body was almost
nipples,
pressed against the glass.
Basically just pressed up against it, which we know is not attractive.
I feel like it can be.
It
can be. The body pressed against the glass, it flattens and mushes everything out.
But the one thing I don't want it to flatten are the boobs.
Yeah, but it makes it like circular, almost like a pancake.
I don't think she wanted that.
Okay,
though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter if I looked hot or not. I'm just saying, like,
hotornot.com.
Yeah, hotornot.com. And I just reached out and I said, wow, this is just bad timing. Of all the days, of all the times, that dust bunny has been there for months and I haven't gone. In that moment, she just, I heard the crinkling up the driveway.
And you looked at her and she looked at you, and I looked at her and she looked at you. Yeah, that song.
Yeah, that song.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. But you know what? She hasn't quit yet. She was there the next day.
Did you throw on a robe and come out and say sorry? Or
no, she was already gone by then. She's just up there to turn around and boom, because she's already delivered the mail down by the street. She's just so it could have been. And again, with glare and everything, I don't know how much she saw.
You're right. The glare.
There's glare. There's sun.
If the sun was hitting, depending on what time of day,
it was about 11 a.m.
We could go and
recreate.
We could recreate it,
and then you can tell me what you see.
Yeah.
So what you'll do is you'll pull in with your window down, just like hers. I'll be up there, same time, same day.
And let's see what we see.
Stretched with the shop vac, with the hand vac, and then you let me know. And you know what? Maybe she didn't see the V.
Yeah, maybe just the tits again.
Maybe just the titties.
You're not worried at all, your father?
I don't have a P for penis. I was saying P for the other word, y'all. I just want to make sure that's clarified. My God, he did another.
Did he just?
I just got a paired app notification.
Screen grab that.
No,
screen grab that.
I can't during this exact moment. Dream big with Joshua. Tap here to set a goal and make your relationship even stronger.
It's time to make your relationship stronger.
Are y'all setting goals?
No. We're just answering questions. It's like 3 things. It's like 3 little things a day. They do. No, the quiz.
I know what they're doing, but your quizzes are like, do you like mocha or hazelnut when you're drinking your coffee together? Here's your creamer.
It's sweet.
Creamer?
The sweet cream.
I just can't. I can't with it anymore. I'm done. I can't have another thing to answer to.
Okay,
that's
I get
thing.
that.
I can't have another thing to answer to, and then to feel bad if I didn't do it, and then I don't give a shit about losing a streak because I don't care about anything like that. But he does.
He does.
So he's going to keep it going. So there's no day that he's going to take off and then I'm going to get to excel. I'm always going to be trying to catch up.
Yeah, you're the one playing catch up, and that just puts you in a bad headspace.
I don't like it.
No one wants to feel like they're falling behind. I mean,
thank you. I always am falling behind.
No matter what it is.
In another thing.
Yeah, no matter what it is, no one wants to feel like they are falling behind.
No.
So we're not going to be tracking our periods and eating fruits and vegetables at certain times of day.
And nuts and berries and everything. No.
And we're not going to be planting only male trees. I'm going to take up my cross against that.
Yeah.
I rebuke it because it's dark-sided.
It is dark-sided. And that's just, I think it's the patriarchy, obviously. Just the male trees.
Yeah. The patriarchy.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's almost as good as Miranda Tory.
It is, but we will never be as smart as ChatGPT.
Yeah. And that's on God. Alrighty. Well, y'all, what we are here to announce at the end of this episode is we are now going into our summer series. And that means that you are getting cat naps, right? Is that what we still called them even last summer, right?
We're calling them cat naps.
We call them cat naps because obviously you're pod cats or ats. Yep. And so we call them cat naps.
And cat naps are shorter. They're shorter than your typical sleeping time.
So they'll still be coming out on Tuesdays, but they will be shorter episodes. And that just happens during the summer, so that we can spend more time with our families, as y'all know.
It helps us batch record because it's going to be hard to overlap with our travel and places we're going to be and catching up. I mean, even trying to make sure we're good for next week is already a big hiccup.
Exactly. It's just already starting. Once Memorial Day hits, we travel. Like that's what we do. And this is what our families like to do together.
It's who we are. It's what we know. It's what we're about.
So sorry, peasants. We have places to go and people to see. And so next week we'll be starting our catnap series. This is a great time that if you feel like we are missing you, there's not as much, we need more content. Number one, follow us on Instagram because we'll be there daily like we always are.
Yep.
But number two, this is when subscribing to the Patreon will really be the best bang for your buck. So if you want to do that, we recommend signing up on the computer so that Apple doesn't take 30% of your money. We don't see any of that. It does nothing for us. So we don't want you to lose that money.
Yep.
So sign up for Patreon on computer. It's as simple as patreon.com/all that to say.
Yep.
You will find us. There are 2 tiers. You have a $6 tier and a $12 tier. There's double the amount of product, if you want to say, on the $12 tier. So you get everything the 6 does plus double. $6 tier, you're still going to get funny stories. You're still going to see cute things, but there's way more at the $12 tier and just a little bit more nitty gritty.
Yeah, a little more spicy.
Dirty, spicy, nitty gritty, the most embarrassing stories, things that we don't want our parents to hear.
Yeah.
So that is on the $12 tier. And then, of course, you can pick either one. But if you sign up on computer, you get to just spend that amount.
Yeah.
And then you can still go onto your phone, log in, and you can listen that way if that's the easiest way, which I think it is.
Yeah.
But if you sign up on the phone and you use Apple Pay to pay, it might default you to that. And then they're going to upcharge you by 30%. And that's bull.
It's wild.
That's not cool.
And we are not the only Patreon people having to announce this to folks over and over, explaining it.
Also keep in mind, we're consumers at Patreon. So we subscribe to the Toast, for example. So we don't want to be charged 30% more either. I ended up signing up for that, like I think with my PayPal or something. So I didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, just double check that. But join us on Patreon. You'll get access to everything that's there. So if you are missing us and you're like, we need more, then go there and start from the beginning and catch up. There's 100 and some odd pieces of content over there.
And we could also, I mean, just spitballing here.
Yeah.
Even if we do some more Instagram lives where maybe you're in
we can join in from wherever.
You're in one part of the country, I'm somewhere else.
Yes.
Who knows? But we can join in and do like a 30-minute little live, and then we can save those and keep those on our Instagram. So make sure you're following us over there too.
Yes. And that's just all that to say _podcast on Instagram. And don't forget to like and comment and share and review and subscribe and all the things that, everyone always says to do. But it's once you hear it enough, you're like, I really have never left a review. I listen to these girls every week. I love them, but I've never taken the time to go leave a review. Do that on whichever streaming service you listen to us. It is actually hugely helpful to get reviews. It kind of pushes us up the ranks too.
Yes,
so, only if it's a 5.
Yeah, only leave 5-star reviews, please.
I actually have never gone to read the 1 stars. It's not my business.
Oh, do we have 1 star?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, yeah, but I've never gone to read them. I figure whatever is said there has nothing. I don't need to know.
It's Tennessee fans.
Maybe, but I don't know. I think that we've said enough that it could be a myriad of people.
I think we can probably guess.
I feel and I fear that it might have happened around January.
I would say probably mid-January. Between mid to late January. Is when those 1 stars came in.
I don't know. I actually don't know. Again, it's just something that like we have a 4.9 on Apple, I noticed.
Oh.
And so I was like, oh, okay. So maybe someone left us a couple 4s. No, they left us a couple 1s.
That is so funny.
But I like I said, it's none of my business.
Ignorance is bliss, y'all.
Ignorance is bliss.
Let them.
Let them. But yeah, leave us a review. That's actually really, really helpful. And make sure that you are set up for automatic downloads as well so that you don't miss the ones that we do put out.
Yeah. Love that. All right. We've given you so much information.
Yeah. We've homework to do.
I know. Homework. School's almost out, but don't forget.
Not for you.
All right. Continue. See you next time for the cat naps. Don't forget.
Yup.